and gentlemen, my name is Reynald Reafor and I'm the captain of this story. First of all, I would want to thank you again for flying Reynolds Airlines. It's a pleasure to have you on board. We're currently at 3,500 feet above the ground and I'll be guiding this aircraft from this point up until the next roughly 4 to 5 minutes. Now if you look to your left, you would notice Governor's Island, which is a little green patch on the Hudson River that introduces the beautiful borough of Manhattan. As we make our final approach into New York City, I would like to tell you a little story about me. I know it's slightly unconventional doing a landing announcement from the pilot, but I'd also like to remind you that you are watching a video and not on an actual aircraft. I've been an aviation enthusiast for most of my life. I've loved learning about planes, how they are made, how do you fly them, who flies them, how do you navigate an air that has no roads. I was so fascinated by the magical experience of entering a metal tube in one part of the world and then coming out of it in a different part. But I didn't really take this interest further than the perimeter of my mind. I didn't think that one day I myself could be flying a plane with people inside. Partly because I didn't have many people around me who believed in my passions, but mostly because I was scared of taking the risk of flying. It wasn't until fairly recently that I summoned the courage to go after my dream of being a pilot. And don't worry, that doesn't mean that you are in inexperienced hands. I've been training for this moment all of my life, even before I went to flight school. The training was rough, but I always told myself that the payoff would be worth it. And it has been so far. After I got my pilot license and felt somewhat ready enough, I decided to pool all of my resources together and open my own airline company. I named it Reynald Airline. And I, Reynald Reafor, am the captain of the one aircraft we have in the fleet at the moment. Well, one, because I currently don't have the resources to expand my team, but two, because I know that I am the only one who can execute the vision that I have for this airline. It's not the easiest thing to run a commercial airline company every day, and sometimes I get so frustrated by the daily to-dos that I begin to question why I started in the first place. But you see, once I'm up here, looking down on the world with a bird's eye view, everything looks so small. Everyone looks so small. I imagine myself down there, a tiny dot, compared to how vast the world is. It's interesting how from up here you can see the full extent of the roads. You can see where a car will end up if they continue on a certain road. That's a perspective that the car driver doesn't necessarily have unless they've been down that path before. It puts my problems into perspective, how significant yet so insignificant they are at the same time. And that's something I'm grateful that flying has taught me. I carry this bird's eye view mindset down to the ground too. So whenever I start getting stressed out about my problems, my goals, and how I'm not too sure how to achieve them, I tell myself, think bird's eye view. And I imagine myself up here again. How tiny I am, and how with persistence and a foot on the gas, a driver would almost always end up on the end of the road that they're on. Flight attendants, please take your seats for landing. I would like to give you a warm welcome to the Big Apple. Thank you again for choosing Reynald Airlines. And I'd encourage you to subscribe and come fly with us again. Our services are only going to get better.